Starbane's Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to another Sklar Country, the virus edition. We love doing this pod for you. Hope you had a good weekend. We're recording this on the Friday before, so if the world blew up over the weekend, we're sorry.
We'll still release it, though.
At least we released it.
When the world is a barren wasteland,
You
we'll
got
know.
us.
If we get 2 views after an apocalypse,
I'll take it.
I'm going to count that as a
I'll
great
be like,
video.
hey, we got a like.
Is it getting any hits?
Getting any hits?
Is it getting any hits?
These are the Pandy Pods. This is the Basement Takes. I love that Ed Ellington. If that's Ed Ellington who came up
I'm
with
giving
that.
it to Ed Ellington.
The
Whether
Basement Takes. We are the Sklar Brothers, and this is what we do. Daily podcast, 30 minutes every day to give you a little break. No charts. No
predictions, no death toll rates, no
stock market. None of that. We're not talking about that right now.
We're making fun of some silly decisions being made through this process.
Yeah.
We're trying to find what's funny in these moments, and we're venting to you about our lives. How are you feeling, by the way, Rand, through this process?
I feel okay. I saw a guy running down the street, and people are running. That's like a big thing.
A lot of running going on right now.
Nextdoor.com, and maybe we'll do a whole episode where we just explore
just several posts on
Nextdoor.com. We'll just go through all.
Saw a guy running. Don't trust him. Nextdoor.com. Nextdoor.com is the beginning of racism.
Right. Well,
it's like a time.
It is, but then there's a moment where if you see somebody and you're trying to describe them, no matter how if you're trying to give an accurate description, there's no way you can't sound like a racist.
Because even if you identify, hey, there's a white guy running, why the fact is he's white?
Why does that have to do?
Why does that have to do anything?
Because we're trying to help you. So people are running. Okay.
So Nextdoor.com is a tattletale site.
Yeah, and
I'm telling on you.
I told
the
the story. So there was a chicken running loose in Silver Lake. Is
there anything more Silver Lake, Los Angeles than a chicken running wild?
And someone was talking about it and how it looked like it was crazy. And then, of course, my wife, Amy, had to poke the Nextdoor.com bear, if you will. And she said, she commented on it, how funky was that chicken? You can't do that, because then someone followed that up with a comment, that is a real chicken with real problems and real issues. To which my daughter, Daisy, then 14 years old, took that quote and put it on the dry erase board.
Where you guys had
it lived in our kitchen for months. That's a real chicken with real problems and real issues. Crazy lady from Nextdoor.com. At least you gave her, attributed to something.
She was almost too nice to that woman.
So there's a big issue about running. I don't know if people are walking in their neighborhoods, and hopefully you're listening to this podcast, getting a little bit of fresh air.
Yes.
Maybe you're walking around your lawn. Maybe you're trying to find that one moment where people aren't out and you can walk through your neighborhood, and that is actually good and healthy for the soul and the body. But there's a lot of people. There are a lot of people walking in my neighborhood, and people are running and sweating and breathing out, and putting all their whatever they're out into the world, and it's bothering people. And the truth is that, and my wife wants to post on that. I'm like, don't.
You already messed up that spot.
Don't post on Nextdoor.com. So she wants to post on Nextdoor.com. If you're running in Silver Lake, I'm like,
shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth, and you go into the street. If you're running, don't take the running path. You go. If you have to run,
she's going to make
the street.
A lot of
so that was like a big discussion I had. If you have to run, the walkers get the right of way because you're on a walking path, and she feels very, very strongly of it. So strongly that now I have to feel strongly about it. You know how those issues.
She literally was like, digitally hold my beer.
Yeah,
I'm going in.
She was like, digitally.
I'm gonna digitally hold you back.
Digitally hold my 9 Wests. Hold my earrings.
Hold my 9 Wests.
Hold my clip-ons. I'm going in.
Hold my weave. I'm going in on this.
I was like, no.
This is not a Caribbean brunch on Real Housewives of
Real NBA
Wives.
No.
You got to stay back. Let this run its course.
That's right.
No pun intended.
That's right. And if it does have to run its course, go out in the street if you need to. I said, look, maybe you need to go
Just quote Michael McDonald of the Doobie Brothers.
You don't know me, but I'm your brother?
No. Taking it to the streets. There was a time in the early 80s where Michael McDonald sang on 90% of the songs that were released.
He was the white Nate Dogg. I've always said this.
Yes.
Nate Dogg in the 90s and early 2000s.
Come on up to my castle, baby. See you got things on your mind. Come on up to my bedroom, baby.
Having things is just fine. So so she wanted to write something on there, and in the midst of all of this, where I was trying to tamp down the don't make a thing about don't rile them up.
Don't rile them up. What was that from?
I forgot what it was. We were watching some sporting event, and
we were riling up other people.
Yeah, and they were just,
and our anger and Matt Price
kept saying, "Don't rile them up." He started chanting, and that was riling us up. But in the midst of all this running controversy, I saw a guy outside, and my whole thing is don't enter the rile them up. Don't enter the fray. And I saw a guy running on my street, barefoot running. You know, there's that trend of it's not even Skele-toes.
Bro.
We saw a guy in Skele-toes in a suit at the airport.
I hope you land on a hypodermic needle.
What meeting are you going to where is it that Skele-toes are, you can wear that and I think it was a 3-piece suit.
You can't be that important to wear those. You either have to own the company or you're an afterthought.
Like even on Silicon Valley, when Gavin wore, I was like, that might be gilding the lily bit. We saw it live, and I'm like, I can't even get angry about it.
It's live. We saw it in the world. Saw it in the wild.
This guy was running barefoot. I'm like, whatever skin things you're just putting out into the world. And I guess there's this idea that, run barefoot. That's the way our ancestors ran. Yeah, well, our ancestors weren't running on, there wasn't a lot of broken glass.
Our ancestors didn't have the choice. It wasn't like, Neanderthal man was shunning Nike.
Yeah, it wasn't like Yeezys came along and
they're like, yeah, I think I'll just
stay
I'll stay with these calloused feet.
Right. I'm going to stay with feet that are gigantic because they're so puffy I can't feel anything. So this guy was running, and the second he ran by the house, and I saw it, I was picking up poop from the dog, and I saw this guy running by there. I was
take it to the streets.
I was like, this ass. I came back in, and I'm like, get me on Nextdoor.com.
Get on.
I got to write about
Log
this
me
guy.
in.
If you're running, take it to the streets. If you're barefoot, take it to your house.
Yeah, take it home, bro.
What do you do after you're barefoot and you're running? Do you just douse your feet in hand sand in Purell?
We'll get to that because there's a story.
Let's get to it right now. Purell. I'm just going to say it right now. Is Purell, to quote Dennis Green, who we thought Purell was?
I don't know at this point.
Does it do what they say it do?
Well, some people are trying to sue it.
Gojo Industries, is that who you thought? I thought Gojo Industries. I thought they made toys that kids swallowed and almost died from. You know what I mean?
These robots have knives on them.
Gojo Industries. Gojo Industries also sounds like it's a mixture of being a martial arts dojo,
right,
and a kids' play place.
It sounds like in a new Jackie Chan movie, that's the bad guy.
Teach your 3-year-old karate in this ball pit. Gojo Industries.
No, but he's the bad guy.
No, the bad guy works for Gojo
Shanghai Afternoon.
That's right, Gojo Industries. Yeah. That's right. So I'm going to read this. Mm-hmm. So pardon my look this way, but people who are listening, you don't give a damn. The maker of Purell hand sanitizer facing 2 class action lawsuits right now as we speak. Again, right now, people are still suing other people amidst this pandemic. Got to get that
Can't
legal.
Keep that spirit down.
Okay, got to make money somehow. Facing 2 class action lawsuits accusing it of misleading claims that it can prevent 99.9% of the illness-causing germs out in the world. Mm-hmm. Legally, they're legally, they're like, if any disease comes up, they're like, that was the 0.1.
That's in the 0.1%.
That's a 0.1. Every disease is in the 0.1.
Right.
Whatever disease you got, that's right. So the most recent lawsuit filed by 4 people March 13th in federal court, the Northeastern District of Ohio, because I got nothing better to do, comes as retailers scramble to keep hand sanitizer on the shelves. Says Purell's label says that it can kill 99.9% of the illness-causing germs.
They're claiming it. They're leaving the door open.
They're saying it's misleading and implies sound scientific support when none exists. Did you think that implies sound scientific?
No, 99.9% is like what a dummy says.
That's right.
When they're like, I'm 99.9% sure I could kick your ass.
That's right. I'm going to kick 99.9% of your ass. It's like when a dumb person tries to sound scientific.
Or tries to make you sound like I got 100% of this covered. That's how someone exaggerates.
For people to be calling Purell on it just means that they're dumber than Purell. To think that meant that they ran scientific tests. No, I'm 99.9% sure she doesn't have herpes. Look, that's what you say to your friend when you know she has herpes.
But Purell never thought it would be thrust into the limelight quite like that. Purell was a background player in a Broadway show who suddenly now has to do a solo.
Purell was just good smelling rubbing alcohol.
That's all it was.
Like I bet people make like elderflower moonshine out of Purell in the foothills of West Virginia, in the Smoky Mountains. Someone's making a Purell batch of moonshine as we speak.
Purell was fun because you could make it disappear onto your hands. That was why. That's all people were like. Look at this cool technology. It goes away and then your hands dry again.
So I'm going to read some of the case here. Yeah. Quote, these claims lack a scientific basis, rendering the affirmative misrepresentations misleading. I feel like this case is being argued by a 7th grader.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Your Honor, no fair. Okay.
Yeah, it's no fair.
They pretended like it was science when it wasn't science.
It's not science.
I think they should be in big trouble, Your Honor. Right? Gojo did not immediately respond to a request for comment here.
Of course they didn't.
And the issue was
able to.
They said that Purell has, quote, broken the public's trust. Broken the public's trust. You're not married to Purell. Do you know what I'm saying?
Look, I understand these are desperate times. If you're counting on Purell solely,
people are like, God, I trusted Purell.
I don't know who Purell is anymore.
Until this went and happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I need hand sanitizer that I can trust. I want hand sanitizer I can sit down and drink a beer with.
Yeah.
All right? I need a hand sanitizer that won't leave me when I go out with my friends.
Yes.
I want hand sanitizer that shoots straight. When they say 99.9%, I want to know that they ran the tests.
But 99.9% does leave the door open.
I trusted you, Purell.
Look, you can't put too much weight on Purell. That's too much weight on a thin back.
That's right. So in January, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration sent a letter to the maker of Purell warning Gojo. What are you using, Purell? Warning Gojo against making unsubstantiated claims about the effectiveness of the products. The FDA cited several advertising campaigns suggesting that Purell could prevent the flu, Ebola, norovirus, and other deadly. Okay, so they did kind of lie. So
it adds 2 inches to your penis.
Wait, what? I feel like Purell is overreaching in this instance. So demand, of course,
male pattern baldness. It cures.
No, it won't.
Erectile dysfunction.
So there's a bottom line here, and this is the bottom line I say about Purell is that
measles, mumps
should get rid of any stats on their label. That's what Purell should do. Just get rid of it, and just adopt this tagline: Purell smells like it works.
Yeah,
right. That should be the new thing. Hey, Purell, look, it feels like it should work.
Yeah,
I mean, this has got to work, right, guys? That's what Purell should be. They should be your friend who doesn't know if the bungee cord is 100% secure, but he's like, I mean, they're not going to let you. They're not going to let you die on this
bungee cord jumping.
Yeah, that's right.
How can it go wrong?
It's fine. Don't overpromise. Nobody will get hurt.
Purell, don't ask, don't tell. That rhymes.
Purell, it's one way to feel better, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if you did it like that, Purell, curiosity killed the cat. Curiosity is a deadly virus that we probably can't stop.
Yes.
If they did that, boom.
They're not saying they get rid of it.
No, they're not.
They're just saying, okay, we smell good.
Mm-hmm.
We'll keep you pretty clean.
That's right.
Also, don't touch a lot of people and put your hands in your mouths.
Yeah.
And then
don't drink us. But we smell pretty. We're pretty good smelling rubbing alcohol. That's what they should say. And that's it. And I don't know if they're going to win these lawsuits, because at first, before I started, I was like against them, but now I'm actually, I was on their side, but now I'm kind of against them. I don't know who. I don't know
who to root for anymore at all. I think that's because no sports have been around. There's no sense of good and bad. You're trying to say,
who do I root for here?
There's no home team, no away team. There's no good. There's no evil anymore. This virus has removed my
ability to understand who we should root for.
My rooting compass is now gone,
completely gone. And let's take a break, shall we?
Yeah, let's take a break. In this break, before we head to break, we have a voicemail. We have a little voicemail from our good buddy Dan Van Kirk.
Oh, yeah, Dan Van Kirk.
Who has a new podcast himself. He's going to tell you a little bit about that.
People are always asking us during this time, what else should I be listening to?
There's a little recommendation.
Dan Van Kirk
has the Goodnight Show. Is that what it's called?
Our co-host. The Goodnight Show, I thought, was a kids show on PBS.
The Midnight Show?
No, that was I don't know what it is.
Dan's going to tell you what it is.
Sleep Tight Show?
It is a late night show that you can go to sleep to that will make you feel good.
That's what Dan Van Kirk does. He makes you feel good. He is our co-host from Dumb People Town. And check this out, and then we'll go to break.
Hey, this is Daniel Van Kirk. You're actually listening to the theme from my brand new podcast called The Goodnight Show. It's a late night podcast that drops every single night wherever you get your podcast, and it's light and it's fun. Episodes run anywhere from maybe 15 to 20 minutes, never more than 30, and we cover topics like history of pop culture or notable days that are happening that week. Everything from small town news to positive things that we've seen from around the internet or have even been sent in by you. Plus, we have unsolved mysteries, sex and relationship advice, and a couple times a month we even bring in a guest for an interview. And those will be people from the comedy world and beyond. It's called The Goodnight Show. I hope you check it out, and I hope you like it.
All right, welcome back. Hope you guys are doing well. Again, thank you for subscribing, rating, reviewing this podcast. It's growing. We appreciate the people who watch the clips and comment on our Instagram page. We are trying to make sure. I think it should be up on Stitcher at this point. Someone had asked about that. Thank you for that.
Thank you, LA Magazine, for mentioning us as one of the podcasts you should be listening to get you through this coronavirus.
That felt great.
Look, we don't know when the end is. We're going to continue to do this throughout this. Let me just say, truthfully, this is not easy for us. We are taking a slight risk by me being in Randy's space right now, and me being away from my family in this time.
It's not easy.
It's not easy to do it, but we believe that this is one of the things we can do to help and to put what we believe is good vibes, creativity, comedy into a dark place and try to find some light. So that's why we're doing this. We will continue to do it throughout this process and try to give you guys that little break every single day that will help you lift your spirits a little
and hopefully we can get you to maybe give you some good advice, like this next story. Look out for people trying to take advantage of you. I'm just going to say that right now, okay?
Because it doesn't stop when we hit a pandemic.
By the way, especially old people are the targets.
Old people are the targets of this pandemic, and there are targets of people
trying to get them to do stuff. But I'll say this to the old people out in the world, and if you're an old person and you're listening to this, I get you. I got duped. Remember when I got duped?
Yep, Randy got duped.
I was on a class field trip that I was chaperoning for she was now in 7th grade, but then 6th grader. And I'm on this class field trip. They're at like a writing workshop. I get a phone call, like 3 phone calls from a number I don't recognize. I pick it up. I start talking to him. It's a guy with an Indian accent, not Native American, from India. Beeping going on like it's being recorded by the government. He's saying he's from the Social Security office and that my Social Security number has been used in a crime. And then he starts to go on and on. He needs my bank.
How would it have been used in a crime?
He said my thing was used to rent a car, and that car now has blood in it and drugs, and it's sitting on the Mexican border. Now,
a blood drug car on the Mexican border?
Even saying it right now, I realize how stupid it is. But in the moment when the phone is beeping, when the guy is, I got to give him credit. As far as an improv guy, the guy's unflappable.
He was hanging in there hard, and you were on a field trip. Better than
Harvey Korman. He wasn't breaking. I'm on a field trip with my kids. With my daughter. I'm outside of this field trip. I'm freaking out. I start to give the guy my bank information and my Social Security. Then, of course, I thankfully had LifeLock and went nuts in terms of trying to put in barriers and whatnot once I realized everything that was going on. Everyone's telling me, get off the phone.
So since you did that, because I don't just answer the phone, I just ignore anything but like now I answer the phone
and go after them.
I'm like, hey man, what's going on? Yeah, well, there's a cocaine car with my
cocaine car. With my
hey, yeah, can you say it louder? Because the cops who are on the line, and then they hang up, and then I call back, and I'm like, hey man, what happened?
Yeah, you just you keep,
and then they hang up on you again, and you call back, and you be like, here's the deal, you're done. You're finished. I know you probably don't care about this and you're just trying to make money, but you made a huge mistake getting into this business because now your life is over. Every choice you make,
you can't threaten him.
I was like, don't look over your shoulder, bro.
You can't say that.
And I will be there with a broken piece of glass.
No.
I'm going to shove it into the back of your neck. I'm not going to kill you, but I'm going to make it so you can't walk anymore.
Let me just say, there was
Is that too much?
Yeah, there was a moment 2 years ago where someone said there was a car with cocaine and blood in it at the Mexican border, and it is somehow linked to you. And I thought to myself, I got to get out of this. Suddenly, I was like Harrison Ford in The Fugitive. I
didn't kill my wife.
I'm standing on a drain pipe with a 100-foot drop, and I'm just like, it's now or never. I was in it deep. So old people, watch out, because they're coming for all of us, specifically you. And this happened the other day.
If something comes up and someone accuses you of anything in these moments.
Yesterday, a Brookville, this is on Thursday, so this is dropping on Monday. So last week, a Brooksville, Florida man, of course this happened in Florida, received a COVID-19 relief check from the government for $3,000 in the mail. Okay. The bill had not been passed yet.
Right.
But this guy's getting a check in the mail, which, by the way, it's not coming in the mail. Just like the Social Security office will never call you.
They will send you a letter.
So it's not coming in the mail. It's going to be added to your tax relief.
Right.
When
taken
off of whatever you owe on your tax. And so you're not even going to get the money. But like the $2.2 trillion thing hasn't even been passed yet. And then it said on there, call a number on the accompanying letter to continue to claim relief checks in the future. That's the beginning. They're like, oh, I get to keep claiming.
Yeah,
here's the
$3,000. We're going to give you more.
Keep claiming stuff. So when a local news station, kudos to the, I mean, I'm assuming the person walked the letter over to the local news station or just did whatever.
No, they called them. They probably took
called
a photo
on a landline.
Yes, on a landline.
Connected to the wall, called the local news station, which they had probably had on speed dial.
Right.
That probably like the local news station, this person in Brooksville, Florida, is like right above one of their uncles.
Yes.
In the list of
nephews.
things. That's right. In the list of the nephews. That's right. So they called them up, and the local news station called this number, and what they realized, it was a number for a trucking and carport business.
Ooh.
That's exactly the type of people who do this stuff. A trucking and carport business. To me, if someone says, "What are you in? What kind of business are you in?"
But doesn't that give it away?
What kind of business are you in?
Good trucking and carports.
The mob. You're in the mob.
Yes.
You are in the mafia. You're trying to scam old people.
It's the same people. If it's in Florida and it's the mob in Florida, I'm like, these are the McMillions people.
Did you not see McMillions? Okay.
That's who these people are.
This is how
they're trying to get your money.
So that's where we're at. Fake companies sending out fake relief checks.
So it was a trucking company.
So that you would then give all this other information.
But even if it came up that it was a trucking and carport, why would you give your information to them?
I don't know if she gave this person or he
No,
gave
I'm just saying, but like that to me is where this story falls apart, because if they called that number and it came up as a trucking and carport company,
I mean,
then wouldn't you, as saying, oh, sorry, I got the wrong number, I guess. I'm just trying to collect.
I'm just saying, 2
on
years
my
ago,
check.
I was on the phone outside of my kids'
Cocaine
field trip,
car,
cocaine car at
full
the
of blood,
border,
Mexican
and I was
border.
like, how do I get down there and stop this? Who died?
You thought you were in Breaking Bad.
That's right. I'm like, how do we erase this? Who am I throwing into a bucket of acid to make this thing go away? That's literally what I started with here.
I wish. I mean, I haven't started watching Game of Thrones yet because I just don't.
You
have
need
the
to,
stamina.
Jay. You need to.
2 episodes a day. I could be through this by the time this thing ends.
Yeah.
And
And
what
any
are there,
question
like
you-
80 episodes?
I don't know.
100?
It's a bunch. Not 100.
And they're like an hour and a half each.
I mean, here's the thing. Old person sees a letter come from the mail. They're like, gotta be official.
Yeah.
It has to be official.
Because that's how they grew up.
Came to that's right.
I got a letter.
Be careful. We are debunking everything on this show today. Purell, fake relief checks.
My baby, she wrote me a letter. I wonder if they could reboot that song, update it, and say, my baby, she wrote me
An email.
a text or an email.
All right, I want to talk about this story because this happened, Jay. Cristiano Ronaldo. It's in the world of sports. If you don't know who Cristiano Ronaldo is, he's one of the most famous. He and Lionel Messi are the two most famous.
Well, they're in the debate. They're in the
Neymar.
They're in this sort of Jordan LeBron debate of who's the greatest soccer player alive,
And they're actually both playing at the same time.
which is insane. And you could make an argument for either.
Portuguese player who plays now for Juventus, which is one of the top Italian league.
Yes.
The Serie A Italian league, and this Juventus usually almost every year
makes it to the Champions League,
the Champions Leagues in Europe. So they have like an international fan base. Juventus does
in the same way that teams like AC Milan,
Inter Milan,
and
Roma,
Barcelona, teams like that around the country, around the world.
Real Madrid. So he played for Real Madrid. He's from Portugal.
Yeah.
And he's now plays for Juventus. And of course, the Italian soccer teams are the ones that are immediately, as in all of Italy gets shut down.
Right.
He was said to have he kept saying, I got to go visit my mom in Portugal.
I want to leave.
I want to leave. I got to leave.
Who's he saying that to?
The team and don't keep me here. There are going to be no games. I'm going to go visit my mom in Portugal. To which, what do you got to say? You got to be like,
go visit your mom.
And I think he donated €1 million, which at this point, because of the market, is worth about $300.
Yeah,
$1 million. Remember we were in Turkey, and we had
750,000
Turkish lira. That was about $25.
Yeah,
that's you say. I feel like about.
How do you feel?
I feel like $1 million Turkish lira. So $37.
Yeah, basically.
So, and that's the way we felt a lot of the time in Turkey when we were there.
Yes.
But Cristiano Ronaldo donated money there, and he's donated money to hospitals in Italy, so he's not a bad guy. But he said, I got to get home. I got to see my mom. And what are you going to say? No.
No.
You're not going to go see your mom? So he lets him go. And meanwhile, they told the other players on the team, you can't go.
You're not allowed to go.
Cristiano Ronaldo. He's player of the year. You got to let him do whatever he wants.
So he says, I want to go home. And then he starts posting pictures online.
There were pictures posted online. I don't know if it was him posting or people caught him
lounging,
hanging out by his pool, shirt off. Now this guy is in insanely great shape. Even for a soccer player, most soccer players are in incredible shape. This guy is like
Chris Angel. He's like the Chris
abs.
Angel of which we've always said that Chris Angel. You don't need that many abs to do magic.
You do not need, and most magicians in Vegas, particularly, they're vain. They're
in good shape. They're orange. Lance Burton. We all know what he looked like.
Sure.
Chris Angel. He
was too cut. Too ripped.
You only need one ab for magic.
That's right.
Abracadabra.
That's what we say.
That's the only ab you need.
So now he's in trouble, out by the pool. He's upset his team. How is this?
Yeah, because they're all like, well, wait, why can't we go?
But if I'm him and I have abs like that, let's reverse it. If you did have abs like that, you'd want to show them off.
Right.
Okay? During a corona, sequestering a quarantine, at a funeral, at a bris, you'd probably wear a half shirt just to show what you got. Building dedication.
Come on.
A building dedication.
You can't be that guy. You're not worried about money. You're not worried about anything. If you have to, don't let anyone take your picture.
That's right. Or get an indoor pool.
Get an indoor pool, or
you have enough money to get an indoor. Don't lounge out by the pool.
You got out of your situation.
If you're not going to go home to visit your mom like you said you were,
or go visit your mom.
I want to tell the story about the building dedication, and then we'll get out of here.
Okay.
Do you remember? So when we were kids, when we were little, probably like what, 10?
Yeah, 10 or 11.
10 or 11, and we were young, just about to hit puberty.
I think it was 11 or 12 because our bar mitzvah was one of the last bar mitzvahs at the old synagogue.
That's
and then
right.
They opened the new synagogue.
So they opened up a new. They opened up a new synagogue that we went to in St. Louis, out west in St. Louis by us, and they broke ground and they started to build the.
They had a cornerstone ceremony,
right, where they did it. Now, our parents around that time, and maybe it's because our parents didn't have a lot of money. They weren't buying us new clothes every time we grew.
Yeah.
We usually wore clothes past the point of when
fitting.
we should have been.
Yes,
because we just needed to make them fit. And they said we were constantly picking at our crotches,
just like pulling
out underwear out, and I guess the shorts were too small, and we were just constantly. And our parents, for a brief period of time,
83,
brief period of time, some of the only communication we'd have with them: stop picking your crotch.
Which, by the way, I get that.
Stop picking your crotch.
I have an 11-year-old boy, and there are things that I tell him
stop
to do.
Stop picking your crotch.
Stop picking your crotch.
And our response back every single time is, We're not picking our crotch.
We're not.
So the building dedication.
We're not.
We were so adamant about not picking our crotch. So the building dedication happens, and it happens out west, and there's a photographer to document it. Now, for some reason, why did we feel the need to stand right behind the rabbi as he dug the first thing of.
Well, he was laying a brick into
he did dig a thing, and then he was laying the first brick into the cornerstone that
later became the sanctuary of the synagogue.
It was biblical, the cornerstone.
Right.
Okay, this guy's the cornerstone of our community. Rabbi Lipnick putting the thing down in there. Okay, and we'll tell one Rabbi Lipnick.
The builder refused.
Okay, so and then we'll tell one Rabbi Lipnick story, and we're out of here. And so there were pictures of us standing by again
in the paper.
Our response to our parents all the time, where they're like, "Stop picking your crotch." We're like,
"We're not.
We're not." In the local Jewish newspaper, the Jewish Light in St. Louis, there was a picture of this stone dedication, and we are standing behind the rabbi, watching him put the brick in. And what are we doing? Picking our
both
crotch.
of us, like deep,
so like
3 fingers deep into pulling material away from our junk.
Evidence that our parents were right and we were wrong.
Just crotch grabbers. That's all we were at that time.
Picking at our crotches.
And it wasn't even sexual. It was just to get relief from clothes that were too small.
I know. Jay, so tell this story and then we'll get out of here.
All right, Rabbi Lipnick.
Should we save it for tomorrow?
All right, yeah, we'll say that tomorrow. We'll tell you a great Rabbi Lipnick story.
A great Rabbi Lipnick story on the next show. All right, there we go.
There you go. That's a show.
Thanks so much, guys, again for subscribing, rating, reviewing. I hope you're enjoying this. Tell us what you want to hear more of, what you want to see more of, and we'll do it, man. We're right there with you. We really appreciate everybody who's supported this show.
Stop grabbing your crotch.
Stop grabbing your crotch.
We're not.
We love you guys. Punch a water faucet and then go wash your hands. We are out.
I'm gonna be somebody someday.